actually. So this is a little bit far from the ordinary way of summarizing the paper, but okay, let's see. Let's show you, Let's show you what I marked in this paper. Like here. Let's see. So usually, as I said, yeah, so probably some of the candidates will be found, of course, in the figure 1, was the first part of the one sentence in the abstract, or some sentence in the first paragraph of the introduction, and discussion or the conclusion in the first part of the discussion or the conclusion. But as for this paper, there is a bonus, special point here. So actually, this is not the last part of the paragraph. This is not the last paragraph of the introduction, or nor this is not the first paragraph of the introduction. So it's a little bit illegal way of showing the ideas in a good manner, but it's kind of how to say, tricky way of showing the writing the paper. Of course, he put the good summarization here. This is ordinary way, but in addition to that, he got a tonic here. We introduce. So this is kind of a similar sentences which can be replaced by that one. But to compress the idea into a simple slogan, our primary goal is to recover the object's texture map rather than in 3D shape. So you may see the slanted sentence here. So if you can find it, so you should also insert this phrase, because probably he likes to have this sentence very much. So if you have only 5 minutes, it's okay to just show this sentence, or just show the first sentence on the discussion, or just show together with just figure 1. But if you have 10 minutes, probably you may encounter this part, and probably it is really also a really good part of introducing the paper. So that's a bonus point. But anyway, so because, of course, he is also really sure that this is illegal. That's why he put this part in he put this sentence in the middle of the introduction, not in the first part, not in the last part, but in the middle. Less important. So in other words, they can play a trick a little bit in the middle of the part, because this part is not so important. So in that sense, probably he should be a very interesting, funny guy, as you may see in the video. Actually, he is the first author, this guy. But anyway, so let's go back to the quick reading skill once again. And of course, so this time I skip marking the figures, because all the figures are important, and you've already know that. So I just mark the sentences in the documents. So of course, in the first abstract, the first one, we introduce, because Microsoft guys are really smart at writing the papers, they write the important sentence in the very first paragraph, very first part of the abstract, to catch all the readers, understand their ideas, their appealing point. And then they follow the detailed description of what this representation is in this part. And then we can recover some slides. They also add additional information about that, but this part is really important. So maybe because this part is also maybe useful because first because they use the word we. That means so they will do something with this sentence. So maybe this kind of sentence starting we can or we will or we show, that kind of sentences will be useful. And in addition to that, this sentence is also having a title word, unwrap mosaic. This is introduced in the title. So this kind of terminologies, words, this kind of words which are used in the title are really important. That's why they use these words on the title. So that means, so if you find this kind of words, this sentence should be relatively important. So maybe the first sentence should be here, and the second one, if you want, should be here, and the next one will be here. And so of course, introductions, we show how to recover dense model. So once again, because they are really smart, so they put the real short summarization, good summarization on the introduction in the very first part of the paper. But a little bit longer because they have space. Then maybe they show these details, and to connect this kind of description to the technical part, they introduce this kind of sentence. So we introduce a technique which overcomes these difficulties to a large extent, generating a representation in which is some ways equivalent to a deforming 3D surface model. So this is how to say, contradictory part of this one and this one. So this is not a conventional 3D surface models, but this is also equivalent to deforming a 3D surface model. Although this is not a 3D, this approach does not use a 3D model, the ability is same as deforming the 3D surface model. So it sounds like magic. So probably the readers will be very attracted in this paper. And to make the readers make more impression to the readers, so he just play a trick on writing this kind of funny sentence. Actually, so if this is out of the rule, so if you are not expert, you shouldn't do that. But he is an expert, so he should know which sentence is out of the rule and which is still allowed to be inserted for in qualification of the reviewing. So this is a limit of the playing with the words. So we can say the slogan like this one. And then so you may see the good sentences from time to time in this paper. So main contribution of this paper is this blah blah blah. And this part is summarization of the following part, because this paper has lots of technical background. So they are sorry about that. So they decided to introduce some part of the basic fundamental knowledges about which are needed to understand their appealing point. So despite not yet our notation or our blah blah something like that. So this part